the highway.
Mm. Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I guess the Bates Diop is part of the deal.
Yeah. So there it is. We live, bro.
Mm. Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? Welcome on this fine Saturday morning to the Orange Tears family of networks. We got a members only Saturday morning show. I'm your number two Chief Rocker, Coach Malpica. Salute, salute. I'm going to give you boys some time to slide on in, check in. Mets, morning, morning. King Ember, salute. We have a crazy, crazy, crazy morning for you out there, the members. Um, in case some of y'all had a long night or didn't have your phones or didn't check out the internet, the New York Knicks are now going to be taking on Carl Anthony Towns. I know there's a lot of mixed emotions out there. We kind of touched on it last night, the Knicks at Night podcast, broadcast. There were some mixed emotions. I think we were all kind of shocked. Now that I've had a night to kind of let it settle, uh, myself personally, I said this last night. First and foremost, I am a New York Knicks fan. So I can pound the table and cry, why? But in the end, I got to root for who we got. And if we're going to have Carl Anthony Towns, and I'm going to be the biggest Carl Anthony Towns fan in the league, period. He's a New York Knick. With that being said, I guess it's a good problem to have because the guy can do a lot of good things. So what I want to know from some of the members out there, what is your first reaction? Put it in the comments, you can put it in chat. Your first knee-jerk reaction. I see Mets has already made his displeasure of the deal, which at first I wasn't happy Dante was part of the deal. I obviously wanted to keep Randall too. And I've later have heard later in the evening or in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., they said that Keita Bates Diop is also part of the deal. So it's a three-way deal with Charlotte. There's Daquan Jeffries and some other draft considerations. And the Detroit pick, that's a protected top 13 that we acquired, is also part of that trade. I'm not sure. What's strange to me is a lot of the sources that say this deal is going through, none of them are talking about extra pieces to make the money work. So I don't know if there's something that some of us don't know about the money in the situation, with the aprons and over the cap and all that stuff. From what I understood, because I know Bates Diop doesn't make $9 million. We had to make up $9 million somewhere. And really, the only one that makes that to be part of this deal is probably Mitch. So I don't know. It's something we gotta think about. I'm curious to see what some of you guys think. But in the end, like I said, the New York Knicks, it's our team, and we here Orange Tears. First and foremost, we want this team to win, regardless of who we have. Do I think we're better today after that deal? It's hard to tell because we never got a chance to really see what the other product was going to be. But for everyone that's on the side of we've been trusting Leon Rose in the front office up to this point, all the moves that he's been making, they, they obviously know something we don't know. So it's a reunion with Tom Thibodeau, with Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns is he played well under Tibbs. He was younger. He was a center at the time. Tibbs obviously signed off on this. So he would not want to take this guy on again unless someone he can work with. So I don't know, man. I'm personally pretty shocked about it. I'm kind of happy because if we think about a starting lineup, if we don't get another person, you're talking Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns. That could quite possibly be the best starting lineup in the league. It really could. I mean, it's got everything you need. Hella offense, Ivory 10, salute, building blocks, salute. I see we got a lot of thumbs downs on the trade so far. My knee-jerk reaction was no when I saw Randall and Dante. So I've gotten a chance to process it, think about the future considerations of this. There was two things that I think could have happened to make this deal happen. Justo salute. Number one, because of our non-movement at the center position in the offseason, letting iHeart go. And I think they knew something was brewing in that, and that's why they didn't sign a center either. You know, a lot of us are wondering, why are they doing it? Maybe this is something they had brewing. I don't think a deal like this isn't something they thought of last night, a couple of nights ago. This is something that's definitely been brewing. And just like Mr. Big, we're keeping it on the down low. And what I think maybe forced it to the forefront, obviously, is Mitchell Robinson. Um, yeah, it's a good point, Justo. That's why I'm glad we got our valued and treasured members only broadcast here. We get to have a nice little round table. I agree. A lot of people had a numb reaction with the RJ um, deal, the IQ deal. I think I was alluding to this before that I would rather have OG play the three, and I would rather have Josh Hart be the sixth man coming off the bench. Because what's great about a player like Josh Hart coming off the bench is he brings versatility. Like, because he's kind of like that crack filler, like Paul's. He's like a glue guy that kind of can fit with whatever else we need with that second unit. Um, I think with that starting five, he would be kind of more limited what he's doing. Salute King Ribby, thank you, sir. But for the most part, I really think that um, you know we need to start as a fan base looking at things half full, glass half full, and before we want to blow this crap up and not want to deal with this again, deal with this. We should see how it works. I mean, not everyone was all in with the OG situation until he started playing. Um, so I'm on the team that says, all right, Leon Rose, I trust you. You've been making the right move so far. Let's see where we're going with this. Now, I agree with building blocks that I think we should have a traditional, not traditional, but someone that fits the power forward role a little more than just a big wing situation like OG would offer. I think Precious being a backup at that spot is great. I don't think he is a starter that we need for this situation. Um, do I think he can do well? Yeah, he wouldn't be the worst starting four in the league. I don't think. Um, but I don't know what you guys think about, or if anyone is one of our nerd, you know, one of our gurus with the salaries and the trades and the moves like Fitz. I mean, uh, if anyone knows about the money situation of this deal, this is actually work with Diop and all this stuff. Because I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I've been googling it for a while. Last night for a while before I went to bed. I started doing it again when I woke up this morning. But I'm still woken. I've still woken up this morning with. I know I may not seem it with my calm demeanor, but I'm excited. I'm still excited for this season. I'm excited for the success this team's going to have. I'm still holding true to the win, my win prediction. I still think we have the best starting five in the East now, if not the best. We're right there with Boston. I think Carl Anthony Towns a better fit when we go against Boston. It's going to make Porzingis stay out of the paint. It's going to make Embiid stay out. I mean, it's going to do a lot. So now this is gonna for you Deuce fans out there, which I'm a Deuce fan too, believe it or not. Even though I was putting his name in a trade for a center, I still am a fan of him. For those of you that are Deuce fans, this is going to be Deuce's chance now to really step up and see what he can do. Because he's going to be relied on some more. Maybe the adding of Shamit and Campaign now in the guard rotation also offers some shooting. I think, yes, did we lose a lot with Dante? Hell yeah, we did. I think the loss of Dante was more of a vibe we lost. Yes, was his 3-point shooting great? Yes. But I think we can replace Dante's production by committee because Carl Anthony Towns is obviously going to provide the punch at the five with the threes that we weren't going to have. Plus, Deuce is going to get more shots because of it, and those other guys I mentioned before, guys like Shamit, Cameron Payne, they're going to by committee. I think are going to match the production of Dante. I'd like to put it into y'all's court. Some of you um, that think, because from what I understand, what we were talking about last night was for the money to work, Mitch has to be part of this deal. Um, I don't know how I feel about that. If that's the case, what is that extra player from Charlotte? Because right now it's a 3-team deal with Charlotte, and the player would probably have to come from Charlotte that we would get. Um, so now you're talking Nick Richards. Now for the money to work, and you want a guy that's going to be a four, a true four. So do we want something that's going to replace Dante as far as his production and his position? So it's something we got to think about. But I think it's a problem the Knicks have never had, guys. Let's face it, we haven't had this problem ever. Like we're sitting here nitpicking whether how perfect our starting lineup is. Think about it. Like think about some of our starting lineups that we've brought into the playoffs. We've had question marks on every one of our starting lineups, every playoffs we've made in the last 5 years, whether it be injuries or just guys that aren't that good. A la when Randall was making it with him and the dumpster fire team. So, with that being said, speaking of Randall, I don't want to dismiss what he's meant to this organization. Um, I gotta say, for guys that like him or don't like him, big ups and respect for Julius Randle because of Julius Randle, he actually paved the way for all these things that's happening right now to happen. Because if Julius Randle doesn't decide to come here, if he doesn't sign for a little less money when he signed the first time with us, his first chance to get more, re-sign, he took a deal. He took us to places we didn't think we could be with the team that he had, and yeah, they rub some people the wrong way, sure, but the man could play. He took in the Nick mentality, the New York mentality, and he's going to be missed, man. Like when we win, and I'm saying when we are going to win, I'm not going to guarantee this year, but in the next year or two, when we win, I'm going to be bummed that Randall wasn't a part of it because he deserves the chip. Now that team over there in Minnesota, getting Randall and Dante, wouldn't that be something if we met them in the finals? Because they're right there, they are. So it's pretty exciting that the the guys that we've lost recently with iHeart and now Randall and Dante supposedly might be potential opponents when and if we make the NBA finals. So that's going to be kind of a bittersweet thing. Yeah, I saw that too, Justo. They reported that around 2 a.m. Keep the base Diop as part of the deal. So I don't know how the money goes for this. I know there's like some trade machines stuff they have out there. I can kind of look at it. I and just so you guys know, Uncle Freezy, he's traveling this morning. I'm sorry I didn't open it with that. I should have told you guys. He kind of told everyone last night. He's traveling. He was able to start the broadcast this morning, get things rolling so I can get in here. And, because we know how important this members only broadcast is, especially a morning like this with what's been going on. So I'm on this fanspo.com website, NBA Trade Machine, not a sponsor. And they always have this trending, they have trending players that a lot of people use for the trade machine. And it looks like a lot of people have been fiddling with this because Randall's one, Mitchell Robinson's two, Cat's three, Dante's four, you know. So there's a lot of people trying to figure this trade out. I was always wondering about that too, Justo. Justo says when Mitch is healthy, do we move Cat to the 4 spot and keep Cat at the 5? I think we made this move, and I think Cat realizes, and we've seen it too. I don't think he's been as successful as a 4 in the league the last couple of years. I think he's not he's not a better 4 than Julius Randle. That's just my personal opinion. But him at the 5, he's elite. He's probably a top 5. If he's a 5, he's probably a top 5 in the league. Top 5 in the league. That's how good he is. He's an 85% or better free throw shooter. He's a 40% 3-point shooter and a 50% from the field guy. I mean, you can't argue that. Period. He creates the spacing we're looking for the modern NBA. I mean, everything you. Wow, to even have Carlton Towns is recently traded on here. So they already have him on the Knicks. I'm saying that. So now we got to think about with Bates Diop, Randall, and Dante, who are all contracted players, and Carl Anthony Towns, right? As of now, it's only Carl Anthony Towns. That leaves 2 roster spots for Udike. Is that how you say his name? Udike. Forgive me if I'm saying wrong. Still waking up. For him, Luke Morris, and Landry Shamet to all fight for those 2 spots that are going to be open. So I really don't think, to me personally, I just don't. I don't know if I don't know if I want to do Cat at the 4. The only reason why I'm okay with Cat at the 4 is OG at the 3. Um, and then now we're looking at what are we doing at center situation. Now, if we made it where Cat's up to 5 quite a bit, like half the game, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's hard to digest because up until yesterday, we were already figuring out and all in about Dante. Like Dante made our bench probably the best bench in the league. Him and Josh Hart, and Deuce, and Precious. But then now, what is our bench? I still think we have pretty good guys, but I think it takes us down a notch on our bench. I still think, I don't know whether maybe they believe in Precious more than we thought. I'm not 100% opposed to Precious getting some run. He was going to anyway. But I think that there's another deal, another part of this deal that hasn't come to the surface yet because the deal hasn't been finalized technically. So I think for the money to work and everything, there's another piece of this deal, another player that is yet to be talked about. So I I want to ask you guys in chat. You guys can all take turn. You can all say, um, "Hey, otherwise, salute." By the way, I want to bring it up to you guys in chat. You guys can mention in chat if you want. What do you think? You think that Josh Hart should stay on the bench, or should he start? It's something for me. If Josh Hart starts, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I I wouldn't want to find out what would happen when guys start going on the bench. So with that being said as well, another silver lining is we have a healthy starting five right now. You know what I'm saying? And now without Dante being there, it does change the dynamic in the rotation now. But it does open up the minutes. You know, we did many workups and spreadsheets on the minute distribution, and there was going to be a lot of guys with a lot less minutes. So I don't know. I mean, the Knicks themselves, I don't think advertised this Nova Nick thing. I think it's been more of a niche thing that a lot of people have been pushing. But it's not something that the Knicks are bound to do, or bound to keep. I mean, I'm curious what Jalen Brunson thinks about this deal. You know, but the only way this deal, to me, is a slam dunk is OG Anunoby keeps that momentum he had before he got hurt in that game and turns into the player that he's being paid to be. And he does it relatively injury free. Then all this stuff we're talking about, the maybes and the I don't knows, all goes out the window. So if that guy's playing the way he can play, with what he does on defense, shoot. And we've already seen Uncle Freezy talked about this yesterday. We've already seen what teams who's best player and who's the go-to guy on offense and who's also being counted on to be the anchor of a defense too. It doesn't work out too well. Just look at guys like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. When that's had to happen, that's when injuries happen. It's too much. That's why I'm okay with now our best two offensive players, Brunson and Cat, not being our best defensive players. Everyone's got strengths and weaknesses, guys. and it allows Mikal Bridges and OG to be the best defenders on the court. So I just want everybody to do one thing for me. I'm not going to tell anyone how to react. I'm not going to tell anyone of you how to be a fan. Let's just see what happens. We don't tend to do that as a Knick fan base. We, we get so excited or so disappointed so quickly, one way or the other. I don't think it's going to come down to what Cat wants or this guy wants. I think Cat is happier than we're giving this credit for because number one, he's a tri-state guy who's born in Jersey, so he's kind of a New York guy. So I mean, Cat's been rumored to the Knicks for what now? 3 years, at least. We've been talking about Cat coming to the Knicks. Some people. Um, my personal opinion, I feel it's more of a lateral move than it was making us better. That's why part of me thinks that they didn't think Randall was going to take the player option, and he was going to go into free agency, and I feel like they were going to lose him. That's why I didn't. That's why I think they did this move. Um, and to and I think that Minnesota was interested on the only piece they were interested in besides Randall was Dante. Like he had to be part of the deal for them to move forward. Um, do I agree with that 100%? No, I don't. I love Dante. He's a fellow Italiano. That's number one. Number two is he's in his short time here, he's already brought forth a lot of good memories. Um, but we got to think about a lot of people say Cat soft and Cat fit. I don't think. Salute, Chef. Welcome, brother. Good morning. Um, I think this is something. I think the move that Brunson made was part of freeing up the money to make this more comfortable. To bring in a salary like Cat's. Um, I think this is all something that's been planned. Because, like I said before, a deal like this doesn't get done overnight, guys. This is something that's been brewing all summer. So, kudos to the Knicks front office for keeping it on the hush, I guess. I mean, it sucks for us Knicks fans being left in the dark on some of these things. Um, but for people that said they want a bona fide star, I mean, think about some of the players we have right now. I mean, this is the best roster, like starting lineup on paper we've ever had. Period. I mean, it's I'm 49 years old. I got to see the New York Knicks make 12 or 14 straight playoffs. Always fighting for the top 2 or 3 records in the league for years. And this team is better than that. Patrick Ewing, you guys just don't know how much that dude carried that team. Um, I just we're emotional fans. That's New Yorkers and Knicks fans. We're passionate. We're emotional bunch. This is what makes us all love each other the way we do. Things are going great. This is why sometimes we all go at each other's throat. Things are a little edgy and not going well. But in the end, it's family. We're a brotherhood, and we're all going to root for this team. And I mean, there's no other way to spin it. Um, I just really hope that they make this move. Because look, here's the thing: before this deal was made, right? The Knicks were already. We already said they're going to be a top 2 or 3 teams in the league, record wise. Like it's Eastern Conference Finals or bust. Some of us are even saying they need to be in the finals as long as they don't have injuries. Do we take a step back because of this trade? No. Are we that much better because of this trade? I can't say that yet because I don't know who the extra piece is. There's got to be an extra piece. But as of right now, today, I think our expectations are the same. Um, I think that it was a lateral move as far as expectations of the team, but I think we got a lot better offensively because of this move, believe it or not. Defensively, I think what we were going to be doing defensively anyway with OG, because our defense is going to go how OG and Bridges go. Okay, everyone else has to play positional team defense. Those two are still going to be the anchors of our defense. They're going to both take on the best 2 players on the other team. And the thing is, Karl-Anthony Towns is not a slouch defensively like some people say about him. Okay? He was playing center. He did average 1.5 blocks or 1.8 blocks a couple times. You know, he actually is physical. I've seen him play physical a lot. You know, he's not going to just get bullied by the best centers in the league. So, because he is one of them, because they got to deal with him too. You got to remember that. Um, so now the Randall haters have a new guy to hate. They can take him, except Cat now. Take him on the hate train. Nah, I'm just playing. But no, for the most part, everyone, look, I bleed orange and blue through and through, and I just want us to be successful. And if Leon Rose, I've been trusting them these last couple of years with the moves they've been making. This is what they feel like they need to do. I'm all in. So my only little bit of concern, honestly, is Cat. These last few years, he's missed some games, but I think part of it is because I don't think he's I don't think he's built to play the 4 full time. That's a little too much on his body. Same with OG. So what we gotta hope for, just like Ivory 10 said, he made a good point. Hopefully we have Deuce still finding the basket like he did most of last year. And, don't get it twisted. Deuce is still a very high level defender too. That's going to be something to lean on. Precious Achua is above average defender as well. You've seen what he can do rebounding the basketball. He brings some energy and some bounce to the front line. We got to figure out if we're going to have a campaign or a Shamit Hive now. Maybe Tyler Kolek sneaks up in there a little bit. Maybe the wing we've been thinking about. Maybe they've been seeing some good things about. I know it's too early and crazy to say. Maybe Pacome Dadier might be seeing a little bit of him in the rotation. You know, you never know. Maybe Huck Porty's more ready than anything. Maybe Sims is. In the end, we got to see what this training camp's going to bring. You got to see what the training camp's going to bring. But what I'm glad of, if we were going to make this deal, I'm glad it was done now and not at the trade deadline. So it gives them time. Training camp with Tibbs, a little boot camp action. And one positive is Cat has already been with Tibbs, so the transition is going to be, you would think, a lot smoother. Not sure how Cat's going to handle his first booze, whatever happens. Hopefully, he never does. So, in the end, it's to have that saying, trust the process. And for me right now, it's always been hard because I'm kind of a control freak by nature. I'm just going to trust the process and hang on, hold on tight, and go along for the ride. So, I don't know. That being said, I don't really have much more, guys, this morning. It's kind of, how about this? Like, if everyone wants to put a grade on what this potential trade might be, for me, it's an incomplete because I don't know if there's another piece of this puzzle. But as it stands right now, technically having Cat, basically Cat for Randall and Dante, I'm at a C. I'm not. I'm just average in the middle with it because I don't think it made us. It made us better in some ways, but I don't think it's going to make us better to where it's going to give us more wins or it's going to put us in a position to. Because I think if we had Randall and Dante, we were going to beat Boston just as much as I think we beat Boston with Cat. So in the end, it's a lateral move for me. So that's why it's a C. It's average, right in the middle. See, Mets got a D plus. Andre Bryant, salute, brother. Says a B plus. Yeah, I'm at about a C. C. You know what? Just because I'm trying to be positive, I'm going to say C plus. We'll grade it again when we see who else is part of the deal. Injuries are part of the nature of everything. We got to be lucky this time. We got to be the lucky ones that don't get injured this year. It's our turn. So, in the end, I was literally just about to say something like that, Andre Bryant. and you said it. When we were talking about the possibility of, well, we'll see if we're going to play the five, blah, 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 it's not a question anymore if Cat can do it. We know he can do it. He did it at such a high level that he was all NBA doing it. He averaged 12 rebounds a game doing it. He averaged 25, 26 points a game doing it. Shooting 40% from three, 87% from the free throw line. When was the last time we had a guy shooting that? So you're talking about a guy that's can create shots, and we haven't even talked about how he's actually a good playmaker. He can pass the ball. He likes to shoot, but he can pass too. You're talking about a skilled 7-foot player, and for us to poo on him and what he can do, it's just people just trying to just be negative. That's all it comes down to for me. So I'm sure some more information will unfold today, maybe this weekend, about other pieces that might be part of this puzzle. I'm thinking there might be someone on the Charlotte roster. I mean, they're the third team right now on this deal because the Daquan Jeffries card and other future considerations with draft picks or something they were saying. I don't know with the money stuff how it's going to go. So I'm just surprised how easily and how well they were able to keep this all kind of under wraps and private. And then it just came out like this on a whim on some random Friday. So I don't know. I guess it's to be determined, fellas. Um, that being said, I don't know, Freezy, if you're listening. I think you asked if I could rock like 30 minutes, but I've gone on for about 48 minutes. I can actually go longer. I'm not trying to stop, but I didn't want to go over. But I agree, man. We have to think about some of the amazing things that can come of this. It's going to help. It's going to help Brunson. It's going to help Mikal Bridges. I mean, we're going to be a high scoring offensive machine. This team. I mean, we're going to have shooters all over the place, every position. Freezy's on the road, boys. He's driving actually. So he's traveling.
Yeah, man. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if you ready, that's fine, man. I'm in traffic though, so
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and hit the button and thank everybody. Thank you everybody for coming through and rocking with us. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate you, man. I got
yeah,
my
man.
hands full right now, man.
I got you, brother. We want you to be safe.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
This is a
Hey,
big
thank you.
morning. And it's something we still gotta we gotta see what else is part of this before before we can speak more on it. It's
All
all
right.
still.
All right. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Just want to say salute to everyone.